Poor bug, watching over my Speedo on the inside of the plastic. Let's get this car ready to roll. Well, I am out in the Smart for 2, heading down to my mum's place just before the end of 2023 in the smart car that has had a bit of work done since I've owned it. I bought it, it wasn't driving, but it was running nicely. New clutch, that was taken care of, but then it started to overboost, play up, go into safe mode when I was just tootling along on the highway. And so I took it back to the expert in such matters, and he said that he thought that maybe the ECU had a bit of a software upgrade that hadn't gone right. But I think in the end, when he inspected the wastegate, he saw that it was all gummed up with elastic or something and had strange modifications to it, which made it very preppy off the go, but also perhaps caused that overboost, or definitely caused the overboost. He's put a second-hand wastegate in, and since then the engine has not gone into that sort of safe mode at all. So hopefully that problem is now sorted. The other problem I had is it happened on this very on-ramp that I'm going on now. It was that the ABS system brought up a fault going around this corner, and I did ask the mechanic about that, and he said maybe it's to do with the reluctor rings that are the little magnetically sensitive rings that go around the wheels and tell the computer exactly what the tyres are doing, so it can make the call on how to adjust things. Anyway, it didn't happen then, so maybe that's another thing that's been solved. Just putting it into 6th gear, doing about 90 and a bit. Lots of people say these things are no good on the highway. I mean, with 6 gears, it seems to be barely kicking up a stink. Admittedly, a passing truck will require a firm hand on the steering wheel. But I don't mind driving it on the highway. I've done 110 in it, and it seemed quite happy. That's the other thing to update you on, is that since that new wastegate has gone in, the turbo chatter that this car had straight off the bat has disappeared, and that was because it doesn't have a blow-off valve. That was air pressure coming back from the intake side. When the intake manifold closed, the air had nowhere to go except to bounce backwards. Well, now that it's not producing as much boost or overboosting, it's obviously meeting the specs from factory, so it's no longer doing that sort of thing, coming off even very moderate acceleration. So I'm a bit sad to lose that. I'm also a bit sad to lose the preppiness of it off the mark, but to know that I'm not overboosting and possibly, wearing out the turbo prematurely, and also that I'm not going to go into that annoying safe-ish mode where you sort of have very subdued response to anything you do. So now that I don't have to worry about that, I'm okay with that. A few things to watch on these Super X engines. But they're quirky and turbocharged, little 3-cylinder. What's mine? 698cc, so it's fun. Fun until it all goes wrong. I'm about to be passed by a car that I've often wanted to own, and that is The Dodge Caliber. Yeah, I know, you're rolling your eyes. I want to own it because, mainly because of the feature in the back hatch where there are speakers you can fold down and have your music sort of blaring while you're sitting in the back at what I believe are regular parties they have in the US at footy games and such. Tailgate parties, I think they're called. And that's one of the features of them. Of course, everything else is a little bit sketchy. Also because the name is spelt the American way, not the quasi-English French way. One day. Put it up there with the Sebring as well. Might as well turn into a scene from The Office.